Matchmaker Monday is back. It's been a while since we had that official title. I did one a few weeks ago in the fights I wanted the UFC to make, but we're back now, back in the series, back in the mix. Suppose let's get straight into it. So, first one I have on my head, top of my head I should say, is Cannonier, the fight between Cannonier and Brauho. I want to talk about a little bit of a fight because that's kind of where I'm going with this one. So I usually do the matchups on Mondays on the card previously, and the matchups I kind of want to see next. So that was a fucking banging fight. That was actually a proper good scrap. I actually had it kind of 3-1 to Brauho going into that fifth, but I can also see a 2-2 as well. I'm not too mad if you had it a draw going into that fifth, but I'm fucking glad that he won, Brauho. A, because he's actually a bit of crack on the mic, and B, we need some new faces in fucking middleweight. Cannonier, Whitaker, all these boys have been at the top, so what a fight. I thought he was doing very well with the low kicks. I genuinely thought that either of them early on, I thought this fight was just about who's going to land that low kick earlier. Because Cannonier got kind of, not dropped, but he fell down to his knees in the first round due to a low kick. And then all of a sudden, he was landing good low kicks on Brauho. And they kind of just went from there, really. Really good boxing exchanges in this fight. Cannonier, I thought he had good success in the pocket when he was there, which was a bit concerning if you're a Brauho fan. I think someone with really good speed and boxing can get in there quick. Someone like a Chris Curtis, I think, might be able to do a bit of damage in there, quick hands, and he's got good boxing. He just kind of backed up a lot, and I felt like Cannonier could have caught him more in the opportunities he had. I don't think Cannonier got dropped in the fifth. I think he was just more exhausted than anything, to be quite honest with you. What's next for both of them? So, for Brauho, I think it's kind of obvious what's next. I honestly think you do a number one contender fight versus the winner of Brendan Allen versus Amirov at UFC Paris. And I think you do that as a number one contender fight. Because I'm so sick of seeing the same faces fight for the middleweight belt. We need some new faces. The Whitakers, the Izzies, like, fuck that. We want some new faces. And, these two are probably the best up-and-coming talent that we have. The three of them, I would say, are going to be at the top of middleweight for a while. Brandon Allen versus Amirov, that's in a few weeks. I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm going to pick Amirov, just on top of my head. I need to do a bit more about that, but I think you do that for a number one contender fight in middleweight. I think it solidifies the number one contender, especially if Robert Whitaker wins. But then they could do a Whitaker versus the winner of that. I feel like someone's going to be the odd man out here and possibly have to fight down again. I don't think Brauho kind of deserves that. He's after beating Cannonier, he's 5th ranked. Amirov beat Cannonier, now he has to fight down. You know what I mean? So the UFC could look at that, and he is coming off a loss. He'd be ranked number 6, 7. He did beat my number 5, but you don't automatically take a ranking if you win. That's just how it is. Look at Max Holloway. He's ranked like number 9, and Gaethje was ranked number 3, and he beat him in that fight, and then he knocked him out. So you don't always take that ranking. Stylistically, I think they're both two different fights. I think Brendan Allen is going to come in there with a more grappling-heavy approach. Cannonier really didn't shoot anything in that fight at all. I think he could have, even just to keep him guessing, throw in a takedown. But that's a Cannonier kind of performance, like, do you know what I mean? He never does shit like that. I think he'd have good success against Imirov. I think that's a good fight, actually. I like that fight. It's going to be a striking, heavy fight. Brendan Allen's going to be more of a grappler. Brendan Allen's good on the ground. He's on a actually very good fucking win streak at the moment. I think he's got like 4 rear naked chokes in his last few wins, and he come off that split decision against Chris Curtis, who fucking is brought it to him on short notice. You have to give him that credit as well. So I both think they kind of present different kind of challenges. Brauho has actually got some pretty solid wins. Abus Magomedov, Paul Craig, now Cannonier. He finished Paul Craig as well. And he has only 1 loss in his whole career. So this dude's very good. I believe he has a submission in the UFC. So it's not as if he matches up with Brendan Allen, it's like a, Marab versus O'Malley, where it's literally just a striker versus grappler. Like, Brendan Allen does have decent striking as well. He's got good boxing. He's got some good power, and I feel like he can mix in the Muay Thai as well in there sometimes. But then again, I just think Brauho is going to be able to keep a fight like that standing, and I think he'll take that fight. I think him versus Imirov is actually a really good fight, and it's close. I'd probably go Bralho in that one. I'm gonna call him the nerd because that's what he wants to be referred as, with the fucking glasses and shit. He's good on the mic, as well, which is good. But the nerd is gonna stand better against Imarov because he's not gonna be worried about a takedown compared to, Brendan Allen, and because Brendan Allen has fucking quality jiu-jitsu. Let's be quite honest there. Someone like that is a tough fight for someone like Dricus. Which is what we need, man. We need fucking good fights in this division, and I'm sick of the fucking Izzy's and Whitakers at the top. Thank God Vittori's hasn't fought in ages. Costa's on his losing streak. Cannonier's on his losing streak. They're all coming out. Now we have Hamza, Brendan Allen, Imarov, Barahau, all these good names coming up, and they're fucking finally at the top middleweight. So that's what I think. I think you do him, the nerd, versus the winner of Imarov versus Allen at Paris. And I think you do that for a number one contender fight. Maybe end of the year, start of next year. You could do that as a fight night main event in an arena. Don't put it at the Apex. And go from there, like, you know what I mean? Because someone's going to be the odd man out in middleweight. Strickland looks like he's getting his rematch for sitting and bitching and crying like he always does. He just sits and fucking moans and tweets. But you can't say anything to that guy because he'll start crying. And Robert Whittaker's fighting Hamzat, and if Whittaker beats Chimaev, one of them I feel like might have to fight Whittaker as well. But if Hamzat wins, you already know he's just going to sit and wait, and the UFC will give it to him. We already know that. If someone's going to be the odd man out here, or someone could be matched up with Whittaker in the way this is going, I don't know who the odd man out is going to be. I really hope it's not someone that's up and coming like a Barao or the nerd or a Brendan Allen. Like, I would rather Robert Whittaker be the odd man out, so we have some new faces, bro. We're sick of watching these boys fight for the belt, but that's the fight I want to see next. No more contender fight, great fight as well. It makes sense in my eyes, man. It makes fucking sense. Next, Michael Moraes getting a fucking first round finish over Neil Magny. Thank fucking God. That is exactly what you need to show Ian Gary. That's how you fucking do it. Magny was just holding him up against the cage in that fight, and he just had fuck all for him. And as soon as any sort of striking or anything like that came in the mix, grappling exchanges, Magny was flat on his feet like he always is. Got taken down, got his back, got full mounted, got flattened out, and just ground and pounded him out. Routine, good, solid win. I want to see Moraes versus Wonderboy next, to be quite honest with you, because if you look at the rankings at welterweight, Neil Magny was ranked number 12. Up above him is Joaquin Buckley, and I don't really want to see fucking Moraes fight that idiot. So yeah, Jeff Neal is booked against Asanias. Wonderboy's ranked number 9, so he's right there. Brady's booked at number 8. Ian Gary, number 7, he's only going to want to fight up. Gilbert Burns at number 6. JDM, Colby Compton, Shafkat, Usman, and Leon. A, they're booked, or B, they're only going to fight up. No one's going to fight down to fight Michael Moraes, who's undefeated. I think he's 18-0 or something like that now. No one's going to want to fight down and fight that guy. But Wonderboy kind of won't have a choice. Do you know what I mean? He won't have a choice because literally he's coming off a loss to Shafkat. And there was talks, or Usman's team wanted him to fight Wonderboy, which is fucking bullshit. He needs a big win, and it's not a complete mismatch. Like, Wonderboy has some sort of a chance. Like, Moraes will test his striking, but I just feel like he'd get hold of Wonderboy and just take him down and do similar enough things to Magny. But Wonderboy, if he can keep that standing, if he can keep it standing against anyone, he's going to beat them. That's just the level of striking Wonderboy brings to this. And it's a good kind of test for Moraes, I feel like. If you can't really beat Wonderboy, what the fuck you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, Wonderboy is literally the staple to get through. If you can grapple, you're going to beat Wonderboy. Like, that's kind of how it's always been. But if you can't grapple, and if you're a striking heavy opponent, you're fucked. You're fucked. I don't care who you are, unless you're fucking Anthony Pettis throwing a Superman punch against the cage, then you're not going to beat Wonderboy on the feet. That's just my opinion. I just don't think there's anyone who's going to beat Wonderboy on the feet. So yeah, I think that makes a bit of sense. Welterweight's kind of like, I won't say popping, but it's looking good. You know, we have a big one at the weekend with Brady and Gilbert. I'm gonna make a video on that one because I am looking forward to that fight. Two guys I've been watching for years now. We've Ingari, JDM, Shavkat, Leon. Like, welterweight's fucking good. And then we have that idiot as champ. Well, not idiot, but like that fucking boring ass champion with that fake Power Ranger belt. He's going to be losing it real soon if he fights Shavkat. So yeah, like welterweight's exciting. I think Marias versus Wonderboy. I don't know if it makes sense, but I think it's a matchup that should be made simply because of the way the rankings are. I don't think Marias deserves to fight down after smoking Neil Magny in what, like 3 or 4 minutes? No, you deserve to fight up, and it's not as if he's taking a massive jump in the rankings. If Magny's number 12, which Marias probably won't be, and Wonderboy's 8, it's not that big of a jump. Like, he's not going into the top 5 after a win like that, you know. So yeah, I want to see that fight next. I think it's a fan friendly fight. People want to see Wonderboy fight regardless, and you know, Wonderboy could make a fight out of that. He could even win if he's able to keep that standing, because Marias, I feel like, will want to test his striking, but he'll turn into a grappler real quick if he fights Wonderboy, like everyone does in my opinion. Yeah. Next fight. So for the last one on this kind of series, I always throw like a random one in. For this one, I'm going to go to the featherweight division. I'm going to be picking Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodriguez in a not number one contender fight, but could be for Arnold Allen. Actually, now that I think about it, I think if Arnold beats Yair and the way the division's stacked up, if Volkanovski goes and fights Ilya maybe March next year, this fight happens end of this year or kind of beginning of next year, or even have it on that card, either one of these could slip into a title fight. That's kind of the way featherweight is at the moment. You're one fight away from the belt, but then again, you have like Yair and Ortega, who are always one fight away from the belt. Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodriguez. Great stylistic fight, great striking matchup. Off the bat, I think Arnold Allen would win this one. I think Yair Rodriguez kind of is not going downhill, but I think he's been at the top of this division for so long, and Arnold is really coming into it now. Arnold's coming off a good win against Giga Chikadze on that UFC Manchester card. He kind of showed. We always knew. I always thought Arnold was kind of a bit of a slow starter. He definitely took that first round easy in the Giga fight, because we know how dangerous Giga is in that first round, and he kind of knew that. He really started to get into the fight as time went on. I do think the way Yair fights is good for Arnold, because he kind of is a bit of a stationary opponent in ways. When he throws, he kind of moves forward, but he doesn't have this lateral movement or this mad movement, and he's kind of standing there throwing from the hip almost. Throwing random shit though, like he could be touching your nose and hit you with a head kick. Like, he's fucking insane. But I think Arnold's movement and speed would be way too much for Yair, to be honest with you. I think he'd win that fight. No problem, but I would be backing Arnold to win that fight. I think he'd be able to chop at the legs, and with Arnold, he's got probably the best movement in featherweight in my opinion. He's got a bouncing in and out stance. I know he'd be looking out for stuff, and I do not see Yair Rodriguez being able to take Arnold Allen down. Arnold's takedown defense is fucking insane. If you are going to reference the Mosvar fight, Mosvar had no control time. Absolutely none. He got off every single one of those takedowns. That was a robbery in itself, but we all know that. So yeah, I think this for both of them, it's kind of a good fight, because Arnold deserves to fight up. You know what I mean? He fought Max Holloway, which no one wanted to fight. He fought that undefeated Russian wrestler, which no one wanted to fight. Then he fought down to fight Giga Chikadze. He was fighting down. He deserves to fight up, because this dude was always fighting down. He was fighting Dan Hooker, who wasn't even ranked. Yusuf as well, Sadiq Yusuf, stuff like that. Fights like that he's taking. And he's really starting to get these big fights now, which he deserves. And I think he deserves the Yair Rodriguez fight. I'd even have Arnold headlining in the UK. Why not? I'm sure Yair would take that fight as well. And like I said, Yair Rodriguez having name value, Arnold having kind of accumulated 2 good wins, both of them, this could easily be a number one contender fight. Yair's coming off a loss to Ortega, which wasn't good for his career, but like, timing is everything. Look at Khalil Roundtree. He's fighting for the belt due to pure timing. So you're coming off a win over Arnold Allen. You're not really, not that you're not far off the belt, but with timing, and if Ilya wants to move up, or Volkanovski and this, that, and the fourth, he could be next. You know what I mean? But then again, you have Mosvar versus Aljo fighting in a few weeks. So you could even do Yair versus Allen, and then Mosvar versus Sterling. The winner fights the winner. But then again, I don't really want to see Allen versus Movzar again. fight only took place in January. So yeah, I think Arnold versus Yair makes sense for the fans stylistically and for the division itself. He deserves to fight up. They're probably neck and neck in the ranking as well, so this isn't going to be a massive jump up or down for either of them. So that's what I think. Matchmaker Monday is back. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.